Good morning. It is Monday, November 15th. It is 5:21 in the morning. Thanks again for checking up, saying hello to me in the morning. It is a Monday, guys, so back to scheduling, back to going through the pilot just for a little bit, plan out your week, and if you can get things done earlier in the week, then do it. There's my mile. Yesterday I just finished my lesson planning for the week, and I said, you know what, let me just go ahead and plan the next 2 days of lessons. So I started 2 days. I got today finished, fully buttoned up, ready to go, so that this morning when I go back upstairs, I don't really have to think about it until it's game time, which means it's half an hour before class starts. Come in, set up my camera and all of this. Everything is set up, and I really don't want to think about it until that time. So I've got about 5 hours between when I go back upstairs after this, and then when I finally start teaching. 5 hours, maybe more than that. 6 hours, I don't know. But yeah, I got that finished so that I'm able to just kind of focus on something else this morning. I don't know what that's going to be. Maybe some video edits and maybe some other things. But overall, that's the way it goes. That's how planning my week starts. For the rest of this week, I haven't tried to look at my schedule yet, but I will do that later on this evening. Yeah, still, if you watched the last video yesterday, I'm still kind of at a low right now, but kind of grinding it out right now. This is the grinding period, and maybe I'm curious to see, but I think a lot of it has to do with the shoes. I'm not even lying about this. I think a lot of it has to do with the shoes, because that's where it starts in the morning. It starts with waking up first, which is fine, and then putting on the shoes, and then getting down here and then doing these walks. But my feet hurt, so I think it really is the shoes. I checked on the shipping status yesterday, and it should come in today or tomorrow. So hopefully not too much longer with these terrible shoes. But it's going to be an interesting test. I'm going to make a mental log of it right now and say that this past week, ever since my foot started feeling sore, the mornings have been pretty bad, not as enjoyable. And my hypothesis is it's because of the shoes. Because the feet hurt, everything else hurts up above the feet, and then it affects your body, affects your pace, affects your overall pain levels, and then may overall affect your attitude. And yeah, so maybe that's why I'm feeling down right now. It's because of these darn stinking shoes. But no use in, I'm not complaining about them anymore. I'm accepting that they are the way they are, and I'm looking forward to a new pair of shoes pretty soon. That's why shipping takes a little bit longer in Vietnam, because things have to come. They don't have huge distribution centers right next to us, but we're used to that in Hawaii anyway. Hawaii, we would have to receive everything from abroad, so overseas, from the United States. So yep, that's basically the thrust of the week today. I just finished the book Storyworthy yesterday. Good book. Yeah, probably one of my second favorite books that I've read behind Atomic Habits. Storyworthy, man, that's such a good book. And I think I like it too that he's a teacher. He's an elementary school teacher, 5th grade teacher, and the way his perception of it is, one thought he talked about yesterday is, when somebody gives you 10 minutes of their time, when somebody gives you an hour of their time, like, he views that as precious. That is 1 hour of this child's life, this person's life, that they'll never ever get back, and hence they've chosen to give it to you, to spend this time, whether forced or not. You know, if you're a kid, you kind of have to do that. But anyway, whether forced or not, that hour that they give to you is gone, and they've invested that hour in you. And he says if you're teaching a class of 30 or 40 or 50, that's 500 hours cumulatively that they've invested in you. And so try your best to engage your students, and his way of engaging students is by telling stories and telling these good stories, learning how to touch the heart, touch the mind, you learning to use which words not to use, which words to use, when to use them. Don't use the word and so much, use the word but, because it takes a turn in the story. Like one of my students told me last week that he went over kind of like this. He said, I went over to my friend's house and we played games very, very late, and my parents didn't know, and we made so much noise, something like that. So anyway, the word and. But I told them after reading this book, I said, try to use the word but a little bit more, because it gives this like tension into the story. So I said, say something like, I went over to my friend's house for a sleepover, but we had no intentions of sleeping. We had played games all night. No, what was it? Yeah. Anyway, using the word but to kind of like pivot the story against itself. It was going to be this, but then it was this. It was going to be this, but then it was this. And then that's the way you keep a story more engaging. But anyway, they got that from Storyworthy, the book by Matthew Dix. So if you're feeling like reading something, feeling like, you know, you're not going to become a professional storyteller, but there's some tips and tricks in there that are just good for life. But when you're telling a story, this is what you should do. This is what you should try to avoid. If you want to set up a hook, you want to hook them in, and you want to set up the punchline, then this is the way you do it. These are the words. This is the way you set up the scenes. This is the way you talk about the past. This is what you don't say. Yeah, a lot of that stuff. Anyway, good book. If you feel like reading it, check it out. Matthew Dix, Storyworthy. And yeah, I don't know what book I'm going to get into next. I might start this another book called The Millionaire Mindset. Might be another one that I'm going to get into. Or The Power of Now. I think that's another I was taking a look at. I'm still reading. I was reading this morning on this run. Your Unfair Advantage. Still listening to that. It's a bit boring, so I might just stop it. Morning. But yeah. Anyway, sorry for rambling this morning. Thank you guys very much for checking me out. You guys are amazing, awesome, great. Keep it up. Self-discipline is the name of the game. Keep it up. Love you guys. Thank you for checking up on me, and we'll catch you in the next one. Aloha.